Welcome to the When It Matters podcast, brought to you by Kirkwood Bank and Trust. This podcast provides in-depth interviews with business owners and banking experts about how to better your financial health and be prepared for the moments that matter. I'm Jodelle Burgess, the Senior Trust Officer at Kirkwood Bank and Trust. Today's guest is Tonya Holmstrom, a CPA and partner at Schmitz-Holmstrom CPA. Thanks for joining us today, Tonya.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
First, can you share a little about yourself, where you're from, your background, etc.?
Yep. So I grew up on a dairy farm south of Cleveland, North Dakota. I went to Gackel High School and University of Jamestown, and so I'm a Class B-er, so to speak, is how to put it into perspective. So I've been a CPA for about 15 years, and at Schmitz-Holmstrom, we're truly your equation for success. Pun intended, it's our tagline. Anything consulting, income tax, bookkeeping, payroll, auditing, anything numbers, that's what we love. That's what we love to help with.
Tonya, we all know tax season is coming up, and so today we'd like to visit a little bit about Tax 101 and the advice you can offer.
Yeah. File, right? That was the first thing that came to mind. So sometimes people, they think they're going to owe, right? They're scared to go file or figure it out, and they just do nothing. And that is not the right answer. So what will happen if you do owe is the IRS will tack on that interest and those penalties regardless of when you file it, right? So it's just worse the more you wait. If you think you have a basic situation, don't be afraid of it. There's online services, TurboTax, all those things, where you can go online, file. If you try that and you're overwhelmed, you're anxious, right? It's not a fun thing for most people. It's fun for me, but not for most people. Call an accountant. Google. Feel free to call us. We can help you, get off on the right track. But file number one. And the other thing is the IRS will put out tax tips I feel like it's a week. And one actually just came through the other day. It was Tax 101, and it was more about errors and things that you'll see if you're filing on your own. So, for example, if you're excited about your refund, don't miskey your account number if you're going to take a direct deposit, right? Because that'll slow down the process. Double check your birth dates, your social security numbers, all of those unique numbers that come with the forms to make sure there's no errors there, and hopefully you're smooth sailing if you're preparing on your own.
As a young adult, what's used to determine if you can claim yourself as a dependent or if your parents are still allowed to claim you?
Who provides 50% or more of your day-to-day support? So think everything: food, gas, health insurance. Those are some of the big ones. Car insurance, right? If the student or the child isn't working, who's paying rent? Where are they staying? So if it's the parents who are paying for the bulk of those things, which oftentimes it is, the right answer would be that the parents would claim them on their personal return. However, in some instances, myself included, I had a couple jobs on the side. I paid for a lot of my own expenses, and so I actually could meet that test by supporting more than 50% of myself. So that's the right answer. But what I will say is get the information to your accountant if you're using one, and they can help with what the best family decision can be, knowing the answers to those questions.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
In general, I know taxes are scary, but they really can be fun. And if you don't like them, we have plenty of people where they can do it online, they're comfortable with it, great. We also have people that they might have the most basic situation and they just don't want to deal with it. And so that's where we come in and we can help with filing. We all have those things, right? We don't necessarily fix our own cars because we're not the experts on it. And so if you're feeling anxious or just, don't have time or don't want to, find an expert and they can help you. If you're feeling, ambitious and you want to file on your own, go give it a whirl, because a lot of the software will walk you through it.
Well, thanks so much, Tonya. You've provided a lot of great advice for us today and lots of fun tax tips. So where can people connect or learn more about Schmitz-Holmstrom CPA?
So you can call us at 701-221-2655. You can Google us and find us online. We're on Facebook and we're on LinkedIn. You can stop by. We are up north of Lowe's in Bismarck.
Awesome, Tonya. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I am Jodelle Burgess, Senior Trust Officer from Kirkwood Bank and Trust. I reached out to our guest, Tonya Holmstrom, partner and CPA from Schmitz-Holmstrom, to provide us an update. Hi, Tonya. Thanks so much for joining us today. As you know, a lot has changed since the last time we visited regarding the tax deadlines and situations.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. And you're right, there's been a lot of changes and I feel like it's changing by the minute. And so I'm happy to help with some of those answers.
Okay, first off, what has changed regarding the April 15th tax deadline that we are all normally accustomed to?
Yeah, so first of all, hopefully everybody knows the new due date and payment date that used to be April 15th is now July 15th. So pros and cons, I would say if people still are expecting a refund from that individual tax return that they would usually file by April 15th, still file, still get online or get into your accountant, get them things electronically and file if you can, so that refund can come back to you as soon as possible. So time is of the essence there. The good news is if people are expecting to owe, again, like I mentioned, both the due date and the payment date have been moved to July 15th. So that's a positive thing. If for some reason people don't think they can even file by July 15th, they should still apply for an extension and make sure they still try to pay the tax due by July 15th, and they can file at a later time if they need to. So July 15th is our new April 15th, as we've said.
Okay, what do individuals need to know regarding the one-time tax rebate provided by the CARES Act?
Yeah, so another wonderful benefit I think that's coming through for everybody is what people have heard about, right? A stimulus check or different things as they've been called in the past. But what truly is happening is, forgive me, for a married couple, now there's some income limitations and there's some challenges, but for most of us, a married couple will get $2,400. A single individual will get $1,200. And each dependent child, I believe it's under the age of 17, would get $500, or the parents would get $500 for that child. There's some variables. I know there's concerns with what if I don't file a return? How does the IRS know about me, know that I'm there? And there's still tools coming out, to my understanding, where, for example, an elderly person who just received Social Security, they could provide the information the IRS needs so that they can get that check to them or that direct deposit amount to them so that they get their money as well. I don't believe it's open to any foreign residents. And again, if people haven't filed either 18 or 19, there's going to be ways for them to either get their returns filed so they can get a payment. Or if they just haven't filed 19 yet, the IRS will work off of that 18 income on the income tax return to determine if they qualify for the $1,200 or the $500 payments. Okay,
Tonya, thanks for offering us up this information today. And is there any other additional comments you would like to add?
I think, we're all going through hard times. And so I know we're all learning, as you can see behind me, to work at home or to work differently, to pick up and drop off information differently via the internet. Just be grateful if we've got jobs, and pray for everybody so that we all come through this. And if there's benefits we can provide, we want to help with some of those resources. But all in all, just reach out to someone. If you're not sure where to begin, by all means, reach out to Schmitz-Holmstrom, Kirkwood Bank and Trust. We can help you, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction.
Thanks again, Tonya. We really appreciate all your expertise as we move through these uncharted waters during this COVID pandemic.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the When It Matters podcast. Subscribe for new episodes and connect with us online at Kirkwood Bank and Trust on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And for more information or to speak with one of our financial experts, visit kirkwoodbank.com.